Brashtamatihi, nonsense, tava, your, eshate, desires, yaha, one who, karmanam, of activities, param, limit, apara karmanaha, of one who has unlimited activities, yet, by whom, yoga, mystic power, maya, potency, guna, modes of material nature, power, mohitam, bewildered, vishwam, the universe, samastam, in total, Bhagavan, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, videhi, Srila Prabhupada. O Lord, there is no limit to your wonderful activities. Anyone who desires to know the limit of your activities is certainly nonsensical. Everyone in this world is conditioned by the powerful mystic potencies. Please bestow your causeless mercy upon these conditioned souls. Please repeat the translation. O Lord, there is no limit to your wonderful activities. Anyone who desires to know the limit of your activities is certainly nonsensical. Everyone in this world is conditioned by the powerful mystic potencies. Please bestow your causeless mercy upon these conditioned souls. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Mental speculators who want to understand the limit of the unlimited are certainly nonsensical. Every one of them is captivated by the external potencies of the Lord. The best thing for them is to surrender unto Him, knowing Him to be inconceivable, for thus they can receive His causeless mercy. This prayer was offered by the inhabitants of the higher planetary systems, namely the Jana, Tapas and Satyalokas, who are far more intelligent and powerful than humans. Vishwam Samastam is very significant here. There are the material world and the spiritual world. The sages pray, both worlds are bewildered by your different energies. Those who are in the spiritual world are absorbed in your loving service, forgetting themselves and you also. And those in the material world are absorbed in material sense gratification, therefore also forget you. No one can know you because you are unlimited. It is best not to try to know you by unnecessary mental speculation. Rather, kindly bless us so that we can worship you with causeless devotional service. Presents the Bhaktivedanta Parva. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Shvabhishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So the sages are concluding their prayers in this perspective here. Savai bata brashtamati stavaishate. He is that person who has lost his intelligence or who has become nonsensical. Why? Yah karmanam param apara karmanaha. Since the Lord has unlimited activities and somebody is trying to measure the activities of the Lord. What is the limit of the Lord? So he is only a foolish person. Yad yogamaya gunayoga mohitam. We are all under conditioned by the mystic potencies of the Lord. Mohitam. Gunamaya. By the three modes. Vishwam samastam Bhagavan videhisam. O my dear Lord, Bhagavan videhi, we request you. Please bestow your causeless mercy, good fortune. Upon whom? Vishwam samastam, and on the entire universe. All the conditioned souls within this entire universe. So in that way, the sages are praying that we are unable to understand you, better we should not endeavor that perspective also. Please give us your causeless mercy, that is sufficient for us. So in the purport also Prabhupada says, this prayer was offered by the higher inhabitants of higher planetary systems who are more intelligent and powerful than human beings. So we have to understand, if a great personality is offering such prayers, then we can understand as a common man, where are we in comparison to them? If we think we are better, then we are a failure. We are under illusion. The word Vishwam Samastam, so those in the spiritual world are absorbed in your loving service, forgetting themselves and the Lord also. And those in the material world absorbed in sense gratification are also forgetful of the Lord. So Vishwam Samastam means it compares spiritual world Yogamaya to material world Mahamaya. In spiritual world everybody is forgetful because they are absorbed in Krishna consciousness. In material world everybody is forgetful because they are absorbed in sense gratification. But Yogamaya to Mahamaya. It is best not to try to know by unnecessary mental speculation. The simple thing is, do not endeavor also in this direction to try to know the limit of the pastimes of the Lord. Because we are trying to only assume. Assumption means again mental speculation comes. So better is avoid mental speculation. Kindly bless us so that we can worship you with causeless devotional service. So the devotees who are only praying, please bestow us so that we can engage in your devotional service. That is sufficient for us. So one aspect of one advanced devotee is who is known as Sthita Prajna. The definition of Sthita Prajna is one who is free from mental speculation. The second chapter, 55th shloka, Krishna explains who is Sthita Prajna. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmani evatmana tushtaha sthita prajna sadochut. So here it says, Prajahati yada kaman, one who gives up all types of sense gratification. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan. Oh my dear Arjuna, where does the sense gratification arise from? Which comes from mental speculation. Which arise due to mental speculation. Sarvan partha manogatan. All kinds of mental speculations are forever thrown away. Atmani evatmana tushtaha, one who is satisfied within self. If you have all these constraints, then sthita prajna stadochyate. He is considered as sthita prajna. So all these devotees who are offering these prayers are in the platform of sthita prajna. Because they don't want mental speculation and they simply want to engage in devotional service. Now Bhagavatam, there are many places where it says about the nature of the pastimes of the Lord. And it gives a comparison of people who are trying to estimate the Lord's capacity. In various places, various analogies have been mentioned. So here it says, Tasyanubhava katito gunasya paramodayaha Bauman renun sa vimane, Baumam renum sa vimame, Yo Vishnur varnayed gunan. So, the Lord's activities which are very great, Anubhavaha, and His transcendental quantities, Gunasya, of whom Tasyaha, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Katitaha Parama Udayaha, and various incarnations are wonderfully described. What is Bhagavatam consisting of? Various pastimes. Who had described? Various devotees have described. So it says, Katitaha, which have been elaborated, Parama Udayaha, by great personalities, not common men. And even they are unable to understand them. Even great personalities, even they are unable to understand the limit of these pastimes. He said, Baumam remum cha vimame. If one can count all the atoms on this earth, how many atoms are there? Unlimited atoms are there. So if one can count all the atoms on this earth, Baumam renum cha vimame, Yo Vishnur varnayed gunan, then he could count the qualities of the Supreme Lord. If you can count. Constraint is, if you can count all the atoms on this earth, then you become qualified that yes, you are capable of counting, you know numbers. Then you can count the Supreme Lord's qualities. But no one can count the atoms of the universe, nor can anyone count the transcendental qualities of the Lord. Means how great the personality of the Lord's capacities are. Then one more place it says, param mahimna uru vikramanto granano yah partivani vimame sa rajamshi martyah kim jayamana utajata upayati martyah iti aha mantradr grushi purushasya yasya. So this is in perspective of Lord Vamana, when he had expanded himself into a huge form. The form itself was so big, nobody can estimate the size of that form of the Lord. So in that perspective says, yah param granano mahimna uru vikramanto. So one who is subject to death, martyaha means anybody who is subject to death. Martyaha means those who have taken birth in this material world who are destined to die. So they are all known as martyaha. So yah param granano mahimnaha, one who is trying to estimate the glories of the Lord, or one who is trying to measure the glories of the Lord, who is known as uru vikramantaha, who is known as trivikrama, one who is beyond one's understanding. Parthivani vimame sa rajamshi martyaha, one who has no more can one more any more than he count the number of atoms on the entire earthly planet. So nobody can measure the glories of the Lord. The simple principle is nobody can measure. Utajataha, by whom? Those who have already taken birth. Jayamanaha, those who are about to take birth. See, means neither in the past nor in the future nobody can do this. Martyaha kim upayati, anybody who has in this material world, nobody will be able to do this. We may say in the past nobody was qualified were there, maybe in future some qualified will come. No sir, nobody is going to come. And this has been iti aha mantradik rishi purushasya yashaha. Vashishta Muni, by his prayers, he had mentioned this, that nobody will be able to measure the glories of the Lord. So what is that mantra? What did he say? Nate Vishnur jayamano najato mahimna param anantamapaha. So no one can estimate the extent of the uncommonly glorious activities of Lord Vishnu. So he had summarized that it is not possible to measure the glories of the Lord. Then the further continuation says, Ya idam deva devasya harer adbhuta karmanaha avataranucharitam shrunvan yati param gati. So now what should I do? Because Lord's qualities are unlimited. So simply by hearing what happens to me. So ya idam deva devasya. So one who hears about the Supreme Lord, who is deva devasya, harehe, and who is adbhuta karmanaha, and who has wonderful pastimes, wonderful activities. Avataranucharitam, and in his various incarnations, not only one Hari, but in his all his various incarnations, avatara anucharitam, all his transcendental pastimes, activities. Shrunvan, one who hears, what happens to him? Yati param gatim, he attains to the spiritual world. Simply by giving oral reception with faith, automatically one goes to the spiritual world. Then even Lord Brahma, when he had understood the capacity of Lord in Brahma Vimohan Leela, he offers prayers. So in the 10th canto, 14th chapter is entire prayers offered by Lord Brahma to Lord Krishna, where he says, Gunatmanaste api gunan vimatum hitva avatirnasya ka ishire asya kalena airva vimita sukalper bhupamsavaha ke mihika dyubashaha. Here Brahma is saying, kalena, in due course of time, airva sukalpahai, those who are very learned philosophers or scientists, those who are fully educated personalities, vimita bhupamsavaha, they might be able to count all these atoms of this earth. Then mihikaha, all the particles of snow, not only atoms of this earth, particles of this snow. Na K, all the shining molecules in the radiating sun. Or Dyubashaha, all the stars and luminaries in the entire universe. But Gunatmanaste api gunan vimatum. They will not be able to count the transcendental qualities of the Lord which are unlimited. You may count everything in this material world, all the atoms on this earth, all the snow particles, and all the, when you see in the sunlight near the window, you see small strands of, not strands, small things flying from the light. Even if you count them, and even if you count all the stars in this universe, but still you cannot count the qualities of the Lord. Because why hitva avatirnyasya kya ishire asya. So then what is the need for the Lord avatirnyasya to come to descend to this material world? Only for the welfare of living entities, hitvaha. So that they can engage in his devotional service and go back home, back to Godhead. For that was the only reason for the unlimited Lord to come to this material world. Like even Lord Krishna, when he says in Uddhava Gita, where he says, Sankyanam Paramanunam Kalena Kriyate Maya Na Tatame Vibhutinam Shujato Andhani Kotisha. This is Lord Krishna himself is saying. He is saying, Kalena, in due course of time, Sankyanam Paramanunam, if one is able to count all the atoms of this universe, Sankyanam Paramanunam, Maya Kriyate, which have been created by the Lord, Na tatame vibhutim, nobody will be able to count all my opulences. Shrujat o andani kotisha, which I manifest within innumerable universes. So how many universes are emanating from the body of the Lord? We cannot count. Then how we can estimate what is the size of the Lord? Simple principle. So Lord is so wonderful that he is unlimited. The universes which are coming out of his body are unlimited. So nobody can understand or estimate about the Lord, about this unlimited capacity. So Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami had, many places had explained about his incapacity to glorify the Lord. So in that context, in 2-3 references I had taken some subject. So where he says, Ananta Chaitanya Leela Kshudra Jiva Hona. I am an insignificant living entity, and Chaitanya Leela is Ananta, unlimited. Ki varnite pare taha vistara kariya. Who can describe it elaborately? So an insignificant trying to elaborate something which is unlimited. It is not possible. Sutra kari gane yadi apane ananta sahasravadne tenho nahi paya anta. If Lord Anantadeva is trying to make aphorisms and trying to glorify the qualities of the Lord, even with his 1,000 mouths cannot come to a limit to the transcendental qualities of the Lord. Means, we can understand. Ananta, he has thousands of heads, and from time immemorial, he has been chanting the glories of the Lord, and he has not even reached to basic point. Means, how many glories of the Lord it was. In further it's Vrindavane Haila Prabhura Eteka Premara Vikara Koti Grande Ananta Likena Tahara Vistara. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited Vrindavana, the ecstasies what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had exhibited, if Ananta was making millions of books also, still he will not be able to finish the ecstatic symptoms what Lord displayed in Vrindavana. Tabu Liki Bare Nare Tara Eka Kana Vuddesha Karite Kari Digdarshana. If Ananta could not write all the ecstasies of the Lord, what to speak of me? He says. I am just giving you an indication of the Lord's ecstasies, what he had manifested in Vrindavana. Jagat Bhashaila Chaitanya Leelara Phatare Yandra Yata Shakti Tata Phatare Shantare. So Chaitanya's pastimes have inundated the entire world. Jagat Bhashaila. So Yandra Yata Shakti Tata Phatare Shantare. So who can swim? It is an ocean. Can anybody swim the ocean? So how much can swim? According to your capacity, somebody may be 100 feet, somebody may be 200 feet, somebody may be 1 kilometer. If Lord's Leelas are unlimited, according to one's capacity only, they can swim in that ocean of Lord's unlimited qualities. Vraje Krishna Sarvaishwarya Prakasha Purnatama Puri Dvaye Paravyome Purnatara Purna. So Lord's capacities are compiled in three categories. Vraje Krishna, when he is in Vrindavana, Sarvaishwarya Prakasha, his opulences are Purnatama, it are most that comparison comes good, better, best. What do you say? They are superlative degrees of comparison. So good, better, best. So similarly, here it says Purnatama, Purna, Purnatara. So Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavana are Purnatama. Then in Dwaraka are Purnatara. And in Vaikunta are Purna. Hari Purnatama, Purnatara, Purna iti trida, Shreshta Madhyadi Bihi Shabder, Natya Yah Paripatyate. So in dramatic literatures, there is a way of comparison. Guhya, Guhyatara, Guhyatama. So similarly, Purna, Purnatara, Purnatama. These are different kinds of mentioning about qualities of the Lord in a style of writing about literatures. Prakashita Akila Guna Smruta Purnatamo Budaihi Asarva Vyanjaka Purnataraha Purno Alpa Darshakaha. When the Supreme Lord does not manifest all his transcendental qualities, he is called as complete. When all the qualities are manifested but not fully, he is called as more complete. When he manifests all the qualities in fullness, he is called as most complete. And this is the version of all learned scholars in devotional service. Krishnasya Purnatamata Vakta Abhut Gokulantare Purnata Purnatara Dwaraka Mathuradisha. So Krishna in Gokula and Vrindavan, he is the fullest extent. In Dwaraka and in Mathura, he is complete and he is more complete. Ei Krishna Vraje Purnatama Bhagavan Arasabha Swarupa Purnatara Purnanama. So Krishna is the complete and all the other personalities is either complete or more complete. Like Vishnu, other Vishnu's expansions, they are more only complete and more complete. But Krishna is the most complete person. Sankshepe kahilun Krishnera Swarupa Vichara Ananta Kahite Nare Ihara Vistara. So I am going to explain to you only in brief. Because Lord is unlimited, I cannot explain this subject. Even Lord Ananta cannot describe this fully, he says. Ananta Swarupa Krishnera Nahika Ganana Shaka Chandra Nyaye Kari Digdarshana. So Lord's qualities are unlimited. I am trying to only estimate to you in the form of, I am trying to estimate the moon in between the leaves. How big is the moon? Can we estimate? So in between the leaves, they say, show the moon and says moon is in between the two leaves. Because you see between the leaves are this size. So in between the leaves you see and you say a moon is also in between the leaves, means it should be smaller than the two leaves. So this is our style of understanding. Our Acharya says because he is unlimited, we can only understand by a reference only. Iha ye sune pade sei bhagyavan Krishnera swarupa tatvera haya kichujnan. So iha ye sune, those who hear, pade, those who study, say bhagyavan, the most fortunate persons. Krishnera swarupa tatvera, to understand about the absolute truth and the qualities of the Lord, haya kichujnana, then one can acquire some knowledge to understand about qualities of the Lord. Brahmadirahu sahasravadane ananta nirantara gaye mukhe napaye guneranta. What to speak of Brahma, even Ananta, they have been from time memorial singing about the glories of the Lord. They have not even reached the destination. Vishnornu virya gananam katamo arhatiha yah parthivani api kavir vimame rajamsi chaskamba yasva rahasa akila ashkalata triprushtam yasma trisamya sadanat guru kampayanam. This is quoting a reference from Lord Brahma, where it says katamo arhatiha, who can describe what? Vishnornu virya gananam, the qualities of the Lord. Kavihi, the most expert scientist. Vimame, who have counted, Rajamshi, Parthivani, of all the atoms of this universe. Because Urukampayan Chaskambaha, when the Lord Vishnu, who had as Trivikrama moved his leg effortlessly from this planetary system to the topmost planetary systems, Satyalokaha, so the entire universe shaked itself. And next it says, Na antam vidyami ahamami munayo agrajaste. Brahma is saying, I don't know about the limit of the Lord. Na antam. Na munayaha agrajaste. O Narada, neither your brothers do know about the limit of the Lord. Maya balasya purushasya kuto avarate. Because Lord's capacities, multifarious potencies are there. Maya balaha. He is covered by Yoga Maya. Kuto avarate. What to speak of others who are insignificant than me and other great sages. So we are the best of the people. Even we can't know the limit. Gayan gunan dasa satanena adi devaha. With his thousands of mouths, Gayan gunan, he is singing. Who is that adi devaha? Shesha. Adunapi, even then, samvashyati nasya param. He could not reach the limit of the glories of the Seharahu Sarvajna Shiromani Shri Krishna Nijagunera Antanapana Hayena Satrushna. What to speak of Ananta? Even Krishna, even Lord Krishna, Sarvajna Shiromani, who knows everything in this world, Nijagunera Antanapana Hayena Satrushna. He became very eager to know the limit of his qualities of the Lord, and he could not count his own qualities. That's why he is called as unlimited. By the time he counts, the qualities would have gone some more. By the time he counts, his qualities would have increased furthermore. So in that way, even Lord Krishna could not count his own qualities. What to speak of any other common man? Dhyupataya evate na yayur antam antarataya tvamapi yad andantaranda nichaya nanu savaranaha kaiva rajamsi vanti vayasa saha yak shrutayas Tvaihi falantiyatan nirasanena bhavan nidanaha. He says, oh my dear Lord, anantataya, the Lord is unlimited. You are unlimited. Dhyupatayaha evaha, even the predominating deities across all planetary systems, tena yayur antam, they cannot come to an count of your qualities. Tvamapi yad antaraya, nor you yourself can ascertain the limit of your qualities. Tvamapi, even you cannot count. Kaiva rajamsa, like atoms in this universe. Swa avaranaha, there are multi-universes with 7 coverings. Vanti vayasa, which are rotating in due course of time. Sahayat shrutayas atan nirasanena, by eliminating all the material elements, if Vedic experts can come to this searching for you, then bhavan nidanaha tvaihi falanti, they come to one conclusion that everything is complete in you only. Like Sankhya philosophy, what they do? Eliminate, and finally come to what is the root. And finally they see that everything is emanating from the Lord. This is their conclusion. That you are the resort of everything, and this is the conclusion of all the Vedic experts. And this is a verse spoken by personification of Vedas, saying how Lord is unlimited. Seharahu vraje yabe Krishna avatara tanra charitra vicharite mananapaye para. So apart from all logic and argument, if one tries to understand Krishna's presence in Vrindavana, nobody can find a limit to his potencies by studying his characteristics and activities. Krishna vatsarer asankyataha shukadeva vani Krishna sange kata gopa sankhya nahi jani. Even what to speak of Krishna, the number of calves what Krishna had and the number of friends what Krishna had, even that you cannot count, it seems. Eka gopa kare ye vatsa charana koti arbada shanka padma tahara ganana. So each boy used to take with him for grazing how many calves? Koti. Koti means 1 crore. Arbuda is 10 crore. Shanka is 1 lakh crore. Padma is 10 lakh crores. And this is the way of counting. And they are saying each boy, unlimited boys with unlimited calves. Can you count? If Krishna's capacity only we cannot count, Krishna's expansion, what we can count? And not only these boys and calves, now it is saying, Vetra Venu Dalashrunga Vassara Alankara Gopaganera Yatatara Nahika Lekapara. What to speak of the boys? The number of ornaments what they are wearing. Even that you cannot count. Next. Sabha Haile Chaturbuja Vaikuntera Pati Pratak Pratak Brahmandera Brahma Karesuti. So all these unlimited boys, when Brahma tried to steal away, everything was back when he came back. So when they saw, all the boys had manifested as the four-armed form and they all entered into the body of the Lord. Eka Krishna Dehe Haita Sabara Prakashe Kshaneka Sabaise Sharira Praveshe. So they all emanated from the body of the Lord and they all entered into the body of the Lord. This unlimited personality. Iha Deki Brahma Hoila Mohita Vismita Suti Kari Ye Pache Karila Nishita. So after seeing all these things, Brahma became bewildered and he became astonished. Then he started offering prayers. Ye kahe Krishnera Vaibhava Muni Sabha Janon. Say Januka Kaya Mane Muni na Manon. If somebody says, I know everything about Krishna, let them think that way. But as far as I am concerned, by my mind and by my body, I consider it in this way that I don't know anything about the Lord. Ye tomara ananta vaibhava amruta sindhu moravan mayo gamya nahe ekabindu. Oh Lord, your qualities are like an unlimited ocean. And by my mind, body and system, I can only take a drop of it. My capacity is only a drop. You are unlimited ocean. Jananta eva janantu kim bahuktya name prabho manasa vapuso vacho vaibhavam tava gochara. If somebody is trying to count Vaibhavam, the qualities of the Lord, by manasa, vacha, karmana, by their words, by their mind and by their actions, it is tava gocharaha, na tava gocharaha. They cannot count. Jananta eva janantu. If somebody says, I know everything, let them think like that. But the Lord's qualities are unlimited. One cannot count. Krishnera mahima rahu kevatara jnata vrindavana stanera deka asyarya vibhuta. What to speak of Krishna? Understand the glories of even Vrindavan Dham. 16 crores of Vrindavana, Shastrera Prakash. It's only 16 crores of land. Vrindavana existed. Tara Eka Deshe, Vaikunta, Jhanda, Gane, Bhase. Even one corner of Vrindavana has all the universes existing in that one corner of Vrindavana. See, Vrindavana is such a small village. When Krishna is unlimited with his cows and calves, how did it spread? How did they occupy entire Vrindavana? Such a small land. So that is the quality. Even Vrindavana so is unlimited, we cannot estimate by our material capacity. Apara Aishwarya Krishnera Nahika Ganana Shaka Chandra Nyayakari Digdarshana. So the opulences of the Lord, nobody can estimate, and it can only be explained with an analogy. Parama Ishwara Krishna Swayam Bhagavan Tate Bada Tandra Sama Kehana Hiyana. The Supreme Lord is unlimited and nobody is beyond him. Vibhu Rupe Vyape Shaktya Dharana Poshana Madhurya Shakte Goloka Aishwarya Paravyoma. So through his all pervasive future Vishwarupa, the Supreme Lord has expanded the entire creation. Shaktya Dharana Poshana, by his capacity he is holding and maintaining this creation. Madhurya Shakte Goloka, by his he maintains, by his conjugal potency he maintains the Goloka Vrindavana. And Aishwarya Paravyoma, through his 6 opulences, he maintains Vaikunta planets. So in this way, Lord's capacities are unlimited. So similarly, there was one devotee in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela, who is known as Buddhimanta Khan. So he is a great personality, a great associate of the Lord. So Acharyas explain about who in his previous life he was. So when you go for Vrindavan Parikrama, at one place we will come to an area called as Suvarna Vihar. There is one Suvarna Vihari Gaudiya Math there. So this person in his previous life was known as Suvarna Sena, a king. So he was a great personality who was taking care of that Nadia area. He was a king in that Pranta only. So he was ruling for many years. He was there till the last moment of the life. But he was not a devotee of the perspective. So, but since he had taken birth in that glorious land, And Narada Muni, feeling compassionate upon him, one day came to his council. So by seeing Narada Muni, he went, washed his feet, gave him a good audience. So Narada Muni took him aside and explained to him that you are such a fortunate person, you have taken birth in this glorious land of Navadvipa. But you are wasting your time and not engaging in devotion service of the Lord. Then he explained about all the qualities of Lord Krishna and all the qualities what he is going to exhibit in Mayapur as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he said Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can be worshipped in Navaveda Bhakti. The style of worship of Lord Chaitanya is Navaveda Bhakti. So in that way, when Narada Muni was trying to explain about glories of Lord Chaitanya, he lost control, he became ecstatic, he was almost became unconscious. And he could not stay there, and he took his veena and picked up and he started glorifying Lord Chaitanya and he went away. So Suvarnasena, then he became very anxious after hearing all these pastimes. Now he became very disturbed that he could not see because he is in a different generation and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to appear in very different future. He became very sad. So that night when he was contemplating about pastimes of the Lord, he went to sleep, that he was missing the opportunity. Then he had a dream in which Lord Chaitanya had appeared with all his associates. So they were dancing, millions of people were dancing in Sankirtana. And while all of them are singing and glorifying, Lord Krishna had appeared there. And he was also dancing to the tune of the devotees. And suddenly the blackish Krishna transformed into golden form. And he started dancing everywhere. He was roaming around, he was dancing and he was making people ecstatic. Then he could understand he is that personality who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is in that golden complexion, who is not different from Lord Krishna. And suddenly his dream vanished and he got up and he started crying that he had lost the opportunity to have darshan of the Lord. So when he was crying so piteously, there was one Akashavani which explained that don't feel bad that you are missing an opportunity to associate with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You will take birth when Lord Chaitanya takes birth and you will associate in his pastimes. You will be engaging in his Sankirtana program and your name will be Buddhimantakan. So Buddhimantakan had appeared and he was a great rich person. So when he got to know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's marriage is about to happen, so everybody started sharing all the expenses. So Buddhimantakan said all the marriage expenses are borne by me. So he had arranged in such a way that he said, he and all his friends, he said, nobody has ever future in that area has in the past nor in the future had experienced such a kind of marriage with such opulences. We are going to display in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's marriage. So they had arranged such a nicely that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very satisfied. He hugged him at the last, after the marriage. So one day Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was doing Sankirtana in the house of Shiva's Pandit, so one day he announced that today I wish to dance in accordance with the rules for dramatic performance. He called Buddhimantakan and Sadashiva and instructed them to bring the required paraphernalia, decorations, conch shells, saris, blouses and ornaments. Everyone will play a part according to his qualification. Gadadhar will play Rukmini and Brahmananda will be an old lady named Suprabhata. Nityanand Prabhu will play the part of my elderly grandmother Paurnamasi, while we will entrust Haridasa to make the person of the police constable come alive within himself. Srivasa will of course be Narada and Sri Rama will play the part of a younger Brahmana boy who has just returned from home after living under the care of his guru. Today I request Sriman Pandit will be a lamp bearer. Then Advaita Acharya said, who will play the part of the hero? The Prabhu replied, we will enthrone Gopinatha on the Simhasan. So Buddhimantakan, you should go quickly and bring all these items that I have required. Today I will dance as never ever before you have seen. So having accepted this order, Sadashiva and Buddhimanta went everywhere and they purchased all the items because they became ecstatic that Lord is going to dance something of highest quality. They brought to their fullest hearts and all the things whatever required and they placed before the Lord. So Prabhu was very satisfied and he informed Buddhimanta. It was such a nice selection of articles. So he addressed all the assembled devotees. Today I will dance exhibiting a feminine form. And only those who are in complete control of their senses will be qualified to witness this event. Therefore, only those who have the power to control themselves will be admitted within Chandrasekhar Acharya's house. So, Lord said, this will be very difficult, because unless you are control your senses, nobody can enter into this pastime. One constraint. First, everybody became very happy that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to perform this pastime. But when they heard the constraint, they all became very sad. We are all insignificant. Where are we to control our senses? Advaita Acharya was saying, then all the Vaishnavas, they all became very perplexed. They all became very dejected. Advaita Acharya, he said, he started making some marks on the earth. Today, I will not be able to see the Lord's dancing, because my senses are not as totally conquered, so I shouldn't go there to attend this function. So if Advaita Acharya said, then Srivas Pandit said, I am afraid that I am in the same position. Then Lord became pleased by their humility, and he smilingly assured them, if you don't come to see my dancing, then who will I take with me to assist me in this pastime? Don't be anxious in the least perspective. Today all of you will become Maha Yogeshwara. You all will become the great personalities of masters of yoga, and therefore free from becoming infatuated by seeing my form as Mahalakshmi. So don't bother. Today I will bless you. All of you can become Yoga Ishwaras, so that you will all be able to have darshan of my unique form as Mahalakshmi. So in that way, Lord exhibited his unlimited opulences. When he acted that personality, he parakaya pravesha, people get into that character and they live like that character. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu acted like Rukmini Devi, he was exactly like Rukmini Devi. He was feeling the same mood when Rukmini Devi was in tension that her marriage was going to happen to Shishupala. She wrote a love letter, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was reading that verses, 7 verses composed by Rukmini Devi as a love letter to Lord Krishna, and he was exhibiting the same mood and feelings what Rukmini was feeling. So in that way, everybody became astonished, and they all, Sachi also could see, not as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, she saw he was only a female. So that is the way how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could act. So if one such pastime is able to make all mesmerizing, so what to speak of the unlimited pastimes what Lord had performed. So that is the capacity of the Lord. So simply in the direction of the Acharyas we hear all these pastimes, then we should be satisfied, and we should be thankful to the Lord that He has given us an opportunity to engage in His devotional service for all of us. We should not try to count, or we should not try to estimate about the glories of the Lord. This is what the sages are praying, that better we be blessed that we engage in your causeless devotional service. That should be the mood what we should carry from this perspective. I'll stop here. Any questions or doubts? Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki, Rai Gaur Premanand.
హరే కృష్ణ గోల్డెన్ టెంపుల్ వారి మరో అపురూప కానుక హరే కృష్ణ వాణి ఆధ్యాత్మిక మాసపత్రిక. ఇప్పుడు మొబైల్ యాప్ ద్వారా కూడా సులభంగా పత్రికలు చదువుకునే సౌకర్యం, వార్షిక సభ్యత్వం, భగవద్గీత, భాగవత ప్రవచనాలు, స్ఫూర్తి సందేశాలు, ఇంకా మరెన్నో సదుపాయాలతో హరే కృష్ణ వాణి మొబైల్ యాప్ నేడే డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోండి. మరిన్ని వివరాల కోసం కాల్ చేయండి